Shalom and good day, all. This is T-Healing29 back again for an indie comic review, and in this indie comic review I'll be covering Hornsby and Halo, issue 6 by Peter J. Tomasi. And as you can see here, I have the main cover along with the additional variants. And I'll move into first things first, and that is the rating of the variants, of how they relate or connect within the story. So starting off with the first cover on the left hand side, I give an 8.5 out of 10. The one on the right hand side, which is definitely one of my favorite ones, I give a 9 out of 10. And last but not least, the third cover, which is on the top, an 8 out of 10. I'll now get things ready and organized as we move into the reviewing of the rating of the internal art, as we have a look around the beginning, middle, and of course the end, and also what is happening story-wise with the characters. So, as the story begins, we catch up with Zachary Halo and Rose Hornsby as they are taken by the adjudicator to an area known as the Gate. Now, even though their home the place where they live is in New York, we are taken to a bit of a gateway of sorts. And at that gateway, of course, there is one connects directly to heaven, the other connects directly to hell. And this is actually the place where they're going to learn about some of the events that led to them being where they are today. Of course, will some things be stuffed up along the way? We'll find out when we get there. Or we'll find out when I get you there. So one of the first places they end up going to is the area of hell, to which we know that Rose Hornsby is actually connected to the area of hell. But we also learn that these characters, or should I say both of these characters, are considered highborn. In other words, the equivalent, I guess, of nobles of their realm. Of course, not long after that, we end up traveling up to heaven, and this is where we learn that this is the place that connects to Zachary himself. So Rose learns of her place, of her origins, and this is where Zachary comes to learn of his. And whilst this is happening, there's a bit of a discussion taking place, until last but not least, we reach the middle of the story, to which there's a bit of a fight that takes place, and the adjudicator decides it's time for you two to have a bit of a cool off point, and of course they land in a pool, of course. So very clever. I thought that was quite interesting, and real great job there, Peter J. Tomasi. You really thought this, the scripting of the scene really well. And last but not least, towards the end, to which they have both been returned home. Of course, they have learned of their origins, and things aren't exactly bright between them after these events. So how will things go in the next issue? It looks like the next issue gives a bit of a hint of some of the events that are going to take place. So something is definitely going to be happening at school for these characters. What exactly? We'll find out when we get to see it. So for the internal art, I give it an 8 out of 10. Now we move into the area of the story. So first things first, do we get anything time-wise? It won't be long, and I'll have to start to bring in reference points to this. So maybe around issue 7, 8, 9, maybe even 10. I might maybe start around 9 and 10 to bring in reference points, or comic reference points. So We don't get anything time-wise. Next is the locations that we get to see. So we got to see New York, a drive-in, to which some of these events were where they met up with the adjudicator and things were taking place. Of course, we got to see the gateway, and last but not least, we also got to see that swimming pool. They were eventually returned back to their homes by the adjudicator. The cast of characters consisting of Zachary Halo, Rose Hornsby, the adjudicator, and we also learned of someone by the name of Beazle, which I suspect is sort of like a take on the term of Beelzebub. For the overall story rating, I give it an 8.5 out of 10. Until then, let's keep it colourful and have yourself an awesome day.